Michelle Baker, Commissioner.
And then we have, Farina.
Good afternoon, Farina Brown, Special Assistant to the Mayor.
And Thea.
Hi, everyone. Thea Agnew-Benben, Special Assistant to the Mayor.
Thank you, everybody. With that, we'll move on to the approval of the order of business. And I give a motion from the agenda.
Sorry, I moved to the.
And we need a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to move commissioner comments to the front of the agenda. I've got a conflict and I've got to leave early and I've got some things I can.
Do we have any opposition to moving, item G, commissioners' comments up to after the approval of the order of business? Any opposition? All right, then moving back to the original, any opposition to approval of the agenda, amended with that change?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're good.
Good. All right. So we'll go ahead and do that. That is approved with that change. We'll go on to commissioner comments.
So, yeah, I just, first of all, I have to leave early, so I'm sorry, may not have a forum. My other baseball coach had an emergency, so I've got to coach the team tonight. And also, this is gonna be my last meeting as commissioner. And I just want to give a little background, talk to the staff and administration about why. I joined about a year and a half ago, I think, and we were a disaster. I mean, we didn't have any movement, we didn't have any path forward, we didn't know what we were supposed to do. We spent our meetings with no help from the former administration trying to figure out what our role was. And then I think I told Farina that I was going to resign the first meeting that she came, planning on resigning because we were just spinning our wheels and weren't doing anything. And then Farina came out like, hey, we're getting engagement from the administration. That's great. But we're an advisory commission and we're not asked to advise on anything before it happens. I was on the Parks and Recreation Commission for 7 years. We had 150 at least resolutions about what the administration said. Here's what our plan is. We were the conduit between the administration and the assembly. And we've sent emails to the assembly in the past. We haven't heard back. And we're not a conduit for anything. We're an informational meeting every month where the administration comes to us and just tells us what's going on, what has happened. And we're not ahead of anything. And so I feel like, a lot's happening with the Anchorage Coalition and we're not in any decision-making process. We're not advising for or against. We don't have any resolutions coming in here saying, hey, we agree. We're a citizen commission and we agree with this or we don't agree with this before it goes to the Senate. And that's, you look at the other commissions, some of them don't have resolutions. The Library Commission, I haven't seen one of theirs, but a lot of them do. And I feel like this is like a benchmark issue in Anchorage, and we're a citizen commission and we're not involved in any of the decision making. We just hear from the administration. And I just feel like it is there's a lot more information. I understand a lot more about what's going on now, but this is not what we were designed to do. And I feel like staff probably spends 20 hours, 25 hours a month with this meeting. Getting papers together, organizing everything, showing up. And we're not part of the process. I know that everybody has a lot of other important things to do. And I think that it would be good for the administration to engage this mission in a meaningful way. And it's not process that was designed to be, I don't think. We were supposed to guide HUD fund that was taken out, right, to the Coalition of Homelessness. They have their own commission over there too, right, for homelessness. So I think that this commission either is either redundant in Anchorage, or it needs to morph into something else that is actually a meaningful conduit between the administration and the assembly. So there's that, and also, I mean, my big thing is the one thing that I've asked of the administration. I asked about the non-concrete shelter at the Alex Hotel, right? How that went about. We put it out an RFP last July. It was accepted, and then there was pushback after it was accepted. We had 400 rooms. It's good, and then it came back, and then it was split up, and then there was negotiation in private, and then it cost us a lot more money, and we didn't get open until November, and we didn't get some open until December, and it cost us a lot more money. It sheltered less people. People in Anchorage died during that time on the streets. I'm not saying that's correlated, but it's bad optics. And I asked, I believe in December or maybe January meeting, about if we could have a timeline of that, and asked about how that came about. And the answer the next month was, well, purchasing didn't have time to take care of it. And I asked again, I think I emailed Frankie again to have to put on the agenda, was put on the agenda again, asked it to be put on the agenda again today for this meeting, and it wasn't put on the agenda for this meeting. So I think it's important that we can look at our mistakes and learn from them. And I wasn't here to blow anything up with those questions, but if I make a mistake in my business, I expect my guys to come back to me and say, yeah, we made a mistake. Okay, how are we going to fix this in the future? And we're a citizen advisory commission, right? I mean, we want to look at mistakes and try to fix them. But if I don't get any feedback on what I feel like mistakes were made, or don't get any response from the administration, it's frustrating for me, and it's not, I mean, it's not above board, really, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. So, I mean, this administration has, I mean, all the power right now. You've got the assembly on your side, you've got everything, there's no finger pointing. And I mean, I'm cheering for you, but I really feel like we need to work ethically, and you need to be responsive to the public and your commissioners. So this is my last meeting. I'm upset about it because I really want to help. You know, I work with every program in Anchorage in my company, and it costs me money. Every time I run into somebody from the Salvation Army or Covenant House or 4A's or the DOM, it costs me money. I mean, I lose good tenants. They tend to not end as well as my tenants that work and tenants that pay the rent themselves. So I'm disappointed in it. I'm not. I mean, the ball's in your court, and I'm cheering for you, and I hope you succeed. But I'm really disappointed in how that came about, how I got no response from that. So, all right, and I feel like you. And it's, I mean, staff has been great. I mean, I really appreciate you ladies coming to every meeting. That's important for us. But I do feel like the structure needs to change, and I feel like we need to work above board, and we need to, you know, not tip the scales, not put our fingers on the scales with contracts.
Karina has her hand up.
I do, and I want to apologize if I've missed not responding. I just want to acknowledge that, like, I would prefer that you stay. And I think you said something that's incredibly important. A lot of the work, and I want to be as transparent as possible. I'm coming into this very naive around how we engage and we use the commission. And so it is my goal, and I said this to all of you, is that we have the commission as more of a partner in engaging and informing the administration and acting in that role. And I've said that consistently. But I would need some of that feedback also coming from the commissioners to say, hey, we need to establish a cadence on if it is not something that is moving through the confidential negotiation process, and that's the purchasing process, not something that we're just internally doing. Here's what that strategy looks like and how we establish a cadence with you all so that you have the ability to put a resolution forward. You have the ability to say that, no, we don't really support an ongoing number of non-congregate shelter locations, beds in one location. I am completely open, myself and Thea are completely open to that. And I think that we fell into a natural rhythm of, we're on the agenda, we're providing an update because this commission didn't feel like that they had that information flow coming from the administration. So I am going to be as honest as possible that we are willing to be flexible and to have you all be engaged in the way that feels meaningful, because without that, then we're not hearing how do we pivot if it doesn't feel like it's going to be informative, if it's going to be a way that's meaningful for our community. So before, it sounds like you may have already made up your mind, but I want to put out there to everyone, if we're not saying this before someone steps off the commission, then we don't have the ability to then reset on how you want information and how we set the cadence so that it's not just a run out every month when we present. And so I apologize that this did not feel that it was meaningful and that we didn't have a chance to talk about how do we reset.
No, I tried to I mean, like I said multiple times, I brought it up in a meeting. I brought it up via emails to staff. So I tried to engage on this one topic and I mean, and I don't know why it didn't get engaged with. I think one thing you could do moving forward is talk to the parks director and see how they run their process. I mean, it really is important, I think, if the way that this commission is structured to use it as a conduit and not, I mean, I don't know if we all, I mean, you ladies are newer on it, you've been here a lot though. But we're not engaged in the process, you know, I mean, a lot of the people on the commission are involved in other ways, right? So they're in it, so it's kind of a meeting of what happened this month. But it's not really it's not operating how it's designed to operate, you know? And, yeah, I'm falling for you.
Thank you, and I will respect your decision. And,
Thanks,
but I
Maria.
apologize that we were not able to be responsive in the way that we should be.
As a new person, you know, I've been a couple of meetings, I feel like I'm new and I don't really know the role of the commission, so I've just been like listening, so it would be great to have your guidance in that, to like reset, and since you have that experience on being on other commissions, that would be really helpful, because mostly, like, I'm listening and getting information, and I'm learning, but I don't really know, because I've never been on it. So your expertise is valuable. I also don't understand your frustration of whatever.
I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, the mayor, you know, she was on the assembly for 6 years, right? So she understands the process of how things go through commissions and how the administration runs things through commissions, and then there's a resolution and then it goes to the assembly. So, I appreciate that. I've got 550 of my own people that live in my
Right.
buildings and my kids' sports and
Yes.
I'm on the Center for the Blind board. So I've got a lot going on and that fills my bucket, right? And then also empties it at the same time. So, but I do feel like, I hope you can engage the commission and I hope you can and engage them in a way that they're part of the decision-making process, right? I mean, I think that's important for people to feel like they're actually here and they're helping, instead of just absorbing information from the administration. So I gotta go to practice, but staff has been amazing. Jen's been great, Frankie's been great, everyone's been amazing. And I hope to serve on another commission in the future in a different capacity. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Good luck with the coaching.
Thank you.
No longer have a quorum. So we, the only other action item we had was approval of last meeting's minutes. So not a big deal if we do that next one. Even wish I could go, but I mean, I do appreciate his feedback. I'm not surprised. Like, this is something that's been concerned about before, as you said, he wants stuff to, did stay on for a while, and, you know, the commission's been in a rebuilding phase for, I think we're still in that phase. And, C3 to stick around, and again, I hope you can, learn from his feedback, yeah, as we can try to rebuild.
You know, I'm curious about other